Each week, TV viewers explore the unknown with my next guest as he travels the globe, uncovering some of the world's greatest mysteries. He's unearthed ancient mummies, dug deep for gold in Timbuktu, and he's even learned to fight like a real-life gladiator. He's not only the host of Discovery Channel's Into the Unknown, but we also have a very weird personal relationship. Yeah. He's the son of the woman who's married to the ex-husband of my ex-sister-in-law.
Yes.
My husband's sister. Right? Is that right?
Yes. You're my ex-step-aunt-in-law.
That's right. And you're my ex-nephew-in-law.
Yes.
Once removed somehow.
Great to see you always. Yes.
But I have to tell you a very funny story, real quick. I was in Mexico at a very fabulous hacienda in the Yucatan, and this beautiful, beautiful billionaire hostess of ours. We were filming down there. We did a whole show there. She said, "Oh, you must watch. I put in your rooms a tape of the Yucatan, the discovery of the Yucatan and the history." And she said, and there's this very handsome young man on the tape, and she said, I saw it on TV, and then I went, and I forgot his name, and she went to every video store in New York, and she said, and I knew what he looked like, and I finally found him. I said, there it is, and she bought like 12 of your tapes.
Oh, great. Oh,
yes,
that was me.
Yes, you. Yes,
okay.
you.
Great.
And so it was in all our rooms, and then I told her the story, and we all laughed, and we all watched your whole tour through the Yucatan.
The shows on the Maya.
And the Maya, yeah. It was very interesting. And so we all knew very, very much about the Maya after we watched Josh, and that's what he's all about, informing while entertaining.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, and traveling. I tend to travel a lot.
And taking, what's the most remote place that you've been now in your travels?
Boy, well, I know for Discovery this past year I flew 125,000 miles through 15 countries, and I think the most remote would be, just in terms of time, 27 hours to Papua New Guinea. And it's also one of the most remote environments, like the Amazon or upper Brazil.
Is it scary there still? Or
it's wild.
But can it be frightening? Are there still cannibals in Papua?
There are rumors. The tribe I was living with was not
cannibalistic?
Thankfully. Not that I'm aware of. I'm still here. But no, I think one of the nice things about working in the nonfiction programming space is that you never really know what's going to happen. There are no scripts. There are no actors. We're just there to explore, and my job is to bring the story to life.
So before you go to Papua New Guinea, do you read all the old historic books of all the explorers and know what they did over there?
I try, but there are over 800 different cultures.
Osa Johnson and all those people that went to those remote places early in the 20th century.
Yeah, in my off time, I'm often reading explorers' biographies.
Yeah, aren't they fun?
They're fantastic.
Because they're like you. I mean, you're the modern day explorer, but you have an airplane. You have, that he could go in. They had to go by boat.
Right.
I mean, they had to travel months and months before they got to any of the remote places. Did you ever feel in danger when you were in any of these places?
Not there. I know when I was in Africa, we did a story, actually it was last week's show, on elephants, killer elephants that are, for some reason over the last few decades, literally killing humans, attacking and killing humans. And there was a scene.
Do you blame them?
Well, no, I think we've done something that has mitigated this.
They have memory.
They have fantastic memory.
Yes, they do.
They do. They're incredible creatures.
And they remember seeing their wife killed or their husband killed.
Incredibly sociable animals.
Right. And they're probably looking at those guys and they're saying, yeah, those guys, they killed my husband.
Yes, they are. And when so I went and interviewed and met with this clan of the Samburu, a sub-clan called the Elephant
I thought you were going to say you went and met with the elephants.
No, well, I did meet with the elephants, but they wanted to show me how they communicated with the elephants, and as a result, the elephants started to charge because we were too close, and it was just an ugly situation.
So how'd you get away?
We drove.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fast?
Very fast.
Is that on film?
Part of it. Obviously, when you're driving really fast, the camera gets put down for safety reasons. But a bunch of it was in the show, as much as we can.
Well, like that episode, there must be other things that don't go quite according to plan when you're on your expeditions.
True. Well, there are things that don't go according to plan because of maybe the location doesn't open up or you don't get the permits. But then there's just the circumstantial or environmental evidence. Like there was a show that we did in Peru where it was more of we were filming at a blacksmith shop, but it was right next to a rooster, lots of roosters. It was problematic.
They were crowing away.
Yeah. In fact, I think the clip is on YouTube.
Oh, we have a clip of the roosters. Yeah. Let's see.
Well, let's watch it then.
The most important thing isn't how the weapons were made; it's how they affected the Chachapoya.
That's true.
And chickens. Start again. Okay. Of course, how the weapons were made. Of course, how the weapons were made aren't nearly as important as how they performed. Nicholas made me one of these. Pretty close replica of a Spanish sword. Pretty close replica of a Spanish sword. Oh my Lord, that's just ridiculous.
It kind of went like that for a while, and that entire sequence didn't make it in the show for obvious reasons.
Well, you know, you should have just kept talking, because the roosters are part of the environment, right?
Well, but they were off camera, and no one knew they were there until they started crowing.
Oh.
It was a problem. It was a problem. But yeah, these are the
We
these
have
are the
airplanes,
joys.
and I mean, when you film outdoors, you have roosters, you have airplanes, you have whatever,
Yeah.
and we have to always. It's difficult, I know, especially in a foreign country. Well, in an upcoming episode, Josh explores the theory that life didn't start on Earth, but that it really came from Mars.
Yeah, this is the
how did they
finale,
get
the
here
season
from
finale
Mars?
tomorrow night. Well, there's a few different theories that is controversial, but the idea of life coming to planet Earth 4+ billion years ago. For this show, and I think we have some slides, is that here's Mars, and we were working with NASA and JPL, the Jet Propulsion Laboratories, looking at the science behind this theory and could it have happened. So we started with Mars.
Where would they be living over there?
My story starts with the investigation of the red planet itself. We have the Phoenix Mars lander on the surface right now. This is not the surface of Mars. This is where they practice the mission on Earth in the Pasadena laboratories. This is mission control at JPL in Pasadena, California. Again, NASA allowed me to go into places that normally a person can't, thanks to their relationship with Discovery Channel.
Right.
And then from there, I went to explore where life forms could have possibly existed, not just on Mars, but here on Earth. This is the Great Salt Lake in Utah, where I went to look at a specific life form called an extremophile. They can live in highly saline environments like this.
What does it look like?
It's microscopic, and it looks pink to the naked eye. Is why the water is pink. But once we understood where life, because this is where the issue is where can life be found? If you're looking at ancient Mars, the environment could have been cold and dry, it could have been warm and wet, but trying to make science accessible, fun, interesting, I go all over the Southwest.
So I understand you want to go to outer space.
Well, I'd like to go everywhere.
Yeah.
For sure, why not?
Yeah.
I would go. For me, as an explorer, I'd love to go to all 7 continents. So I'd still love to go to Australia. I'd still love to go to Antarctica. But I love traveling. I'd go to Vienna, St. Petersburg, anywhere really.
Oh, St. Petersburg, why?
Well, I haven't been.
Oh,
Plus, it's got a great.
It's so beautiful.
Really?
Oh yes, I've been there, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And a history.
Yeah, I've heard beautiful. It's a great city.
Built in an unusual way, like Venice. You know? Well, when we come back, Josh is going to show us some of the unique artifacts that he's accumulated from his travels all around the globe. Stay tuned.